The Caribbean community, CARICOM, home of nearly 16 million, 60% of whom are under the age of 30, sits in a wider regional bloc of over 44 million people. High among the priorities for CARICOM governments and policymakers is the health and wellness of its citizens, a regional imperative which directly intersects with the mission of the Caribbean Institute for Health Research. CARE is taking stock of what has been achieved so far and the new frontiers to conquer in its continuing mission to address the regional and global challenges related to nutrition and non-communicable diseases.
The Caribbean Institute for Health Research was formed with the purpose of expanding the amount of research, the research output in health at the University of the West Indies, and also to provide training of the next generation of researchers to make sure we had the people to continue to expand and conduct the research that the region needs.
Evidence through rigorous research is embedded in CARE's DNA, the historical strands of which date back to the 1950s as the pioneering Tropical Metabolism Research Unit, founded by the Medical Research Council of the United Kingdom, to later evolve into the expanded Tropical Medicine Research Institute in 1999, under the auspices of the University of the West Indies.
Context was post-World War II, the Caribbean, in fact post-World War II, Sub-Saharan Africa, where a very high and unacceptably high mortality rate in children attributable to malnutrition was noted. And in 1945, the British government sent John Waterlow, who became the first director of the TMRU when it was formed, to examine and report on the causes of why so many children were dying. In 1954, he asked the MRC whether or not they would set up a unit specifically to look at severe acute malnutrition, its underlying causes, and to use the results from such experiments and clinical examinations into improved treatment. There's a great deal about the metabolic, physiologic, and pathologic basis of malnutrition has been described, and a lot of the work has gone into best practice manuals, and importantly, the mortality rate has fallen from maybe 35% to 5%.
Regarded as a jewel in the research crown of the University of the West Indies, CARE is a focal point for global collaborations in health research and is world-renowned for its work in sickle cell research.
We are a part of the University of the West Indies, so we are a part of a research institute. And hundreds of papers have been published by this unit that have affected how sickle cell disease is managed globally. So we do research, and at any given time there are several research projects going on.
CARE has conducted groundbreaking research in child development, building on the pioneering work of Professor Sally McGregor, who supervised a talented cohort of then young, eager researchers such as Susan Walker, Christine Powell, Julie Meeks, Suzanne Chang Lopez.
So back in the day when four of us shared the one office, in 1986, there was one telephone in the whole of TMRU. Back then too, we didn't have AC in our vehicles. We didn't have internet. When the internet came in, it was the one computer in the fellow's room, and that computer you'd have to line up to send an email.
CARE has won global recognition for its now celebrated Jamaica Home Intervention and 30-year study that has been adopted and modeled as organizations like the International Rescue Committee for Syrian Refugees in Lebanon and Jordan. The ERU's Chronic Disease Group has also launched a new cohort study, the largest so far in Jamaica, to investigate genetic and environmental risk factors for non-communicable diseases. In Barbados, the Georgia Lane Chronic Disease Research Center is building on its strong track record in population-based epidemiological research, focusing on surveillance of chronic non-communicable disease incidence, prevalence, and risk factors.
When we do our work, we should put it in the context of global health. We study it here, we see if institutions within the society like the churches, like the community organizations, if they can help, and then when we demonstrate those solutions, we globalize it.
The Caribbean Institute for Health Research, a specialized center of the University of the West Indies, mandated to deliver healthcare research and interventions of global relevance for a healthier Caribbean. Respected, resource-rich in knowledge, scientific and technical competence, Care at 20 is a Caribbean-based center of excellence with a global outlook, pushing the boundaries of health research for a sustainable future for the peoples of the Caribbean for the next 20 years and beyond.